Cine dă tendințele în design interior? Pepa Casado D'Amato este profesor pe tendințe la Design Barcelona, Higher School of Design, și la CEU Valencia. Scrie pentru House, una dintre cele mai mari platforme online dedicate designului interior. Cred că ați înțeles că nu o să încerc eu să vă spun despre subiect, mergem direct la sursă și o să rog chiar pe Pepa să vă răspundă la 5 întrebări despre cine dă tendințele în design interior.
Hello, Pepa. It's really nice and exciting for me to meet you and honored to have this discussion with you today. I've prepared 5 questions related with, I think, one of the most debated and interesting subjects and topic in interior design, trends in interior design.
Sure.
So I took the liberty to write them down to not skip anything. The first one would be, in a world inundated with trends, how do you differentiate between passing fads and long-lasting design movements? And what criteria do you use to identify them?
Yeah, I think it's something really interesting about researching trends is that it has a methodology that is really important. There are different methods you can use, like for example, the repetition of different frames or design keys that you can see through different markets and different disciplines. This is really important, but it also has to do with the intuition you get with the past of the year. So you can see, I travel a lot. I just visit a lot of different fairs, design events. I talk to a lot of different professionals of the sector. I really love to, like for example, watch all the novelties of the different firms and brands, but you always can see where a thing is going to work, because it's not just an aesthetic exercise. It's a thing that is related to what we as people, as society, need from the design. And when you see a project that hears the design of the user, you can tell that this is going to work because it's important, it's relevant and interesting.
So it's not just only about aesthetics, it's about function, form, ergonomy, sustainability.
Sure. But when we said this thing, that it's not just about aesthetic, but also it's about but always how aesthetics is connected to function, to strategy, to the needs of the people. And I think it's where architects, where interior designers has had a lot to say, because those are the professionals that has the creativity, the vision to connect the aesthetics with all the others, different layers of the spaces and objects. And that's why this is a really interesting profession, because we connect something really abstract with something really palpable, something you can see.
Thank you. The second question would be, if you can describe your process for identifying emerging trends from initial observation to implementation in your design and marketing strategies and statistics.
It's always start with just looking with curiosity. I think it's the most important thing you have to do. There are a lot of methods, but if you are curious, you always are going to ask why this is happening. This is the most important thing. And in terms of connecting the trends you see with the strategy of a client, for example, to design a new collection or to design a new space in a hotel, you have to understand the strategy of the client.
Exactly.
Where he or she wants to head, what this company wants with this space, what this space is going to build in terms of the big picture of the company. And that's the way you can relate the trends that are really important in the market for the company, because you understand what the company wants and want to be, and how you can respond to these trends in this road to get the goals of the company.
So the third question would be, in the studies you conduct or analyze. Do you see any difference between the responses given by architects and those given by interior designers?
Yeah, in some things you can see differences because I think there are different perspectives.
Yeah.
I think, for example, architects are really, really into how can the discipline transform or accompany the way the society is changing. So I think they are really, really interested in this kind of thinking that if we design properly the space, we can change for the better. Not just the life of the people that is inhabited that place, but all the society. I think this is a really like a big challenge, but also really exciting.
Pressure, not challenge.
Yeah, and I think the interior design is something more about the specifics of life, the daily routines, which are really important also.
Sure.
You know, but at the same time, I see a really connection in a lot of topics that are important right now. And I think this is really important because we have to make more close the work between architects and interior designers. And I see
to make them collaborate, and because somehow the things blend somehow in the end, in the project.
Yeah, sure. And I think we have to work together. So it's really interesting that in some important topics like well-being, like sustainability, there is an opinion that is really, they are on the same page. Yeah.
That's great. How do you use the information from studies to anticipate future trends? Because sure, we can go to events and to see, to research, but you need to anticipate future trends.
Yeah, there's a quote from Ron Arad, the designer, that I think is like really, really to the point. And he said that if you look closely the present, you can predict the future. You don't have to guess what is going to happen. Yeah, really crystal ball. Yeah, it's there. It's just there, and the changes are slow. We and mostly we're in this space we are working with. When we work with the space, it's not like fashion. Fashion is so fast changing. It's more difficult, but the spaces change in a different velocity of speed. So you just look to what people said, what people need. You can anticipate the future.
As I said, you need to be curious. You need to research. You need to look there.
And I think this is really important for design because we are not just looking at the trends that are going to happen in the future. We are working to make these trends reality. When a designer, when an architect looks at the present and understand the needs and made a project, it's also building the future.
So the last question would be, how do you leverage consumer insights and market research to anticipate upcoming trends and tailor your design and marketing strategies accordingly?
Yeah, sometimes we see these things like different things. And for me, it's just the same thing. Because, in terms of companies, a lot of the times they talk about the trends in this sector or this other sector. And for me, it's not important to look at that because all the things that are happening in the market are related in consumer insights, are related to consumer insights because how we are as people and as society is determine the things we buy, the spaces we want. So maybe the difference is that we can understand what is the consumer insight behind a trend, or we can't. We can see it, but it's always there. There's always a consumer insight there that we have to understand in order to make our work better for that person.
Great. Thank you so much for this discussion.
Thank you to you. It was really nice.